Hi, so today I'm going to take a look at the Gitup Git2 Wi-Fi action camera. This is the box right here. The Gitup Git2 Pro camera. It does 1080p at 60 frames per second. The 2K is not at 60 frames per second though. The 2K is at 24 frames per second, and it takes 16 megapixel stills. Alright, so it's a really nice action camera. So let's look at what you get in the package. So as with almost any action camera, you get a lot of different mounts. So we have a curved base mount, sticky tape for that, flat mount, sticky tape for that as well. This here is what you use. It just basically slide these in depending on which mount you use. So you hook your camera up to that using the case. Now there are different screws that you get with it. You get one short screw and one long screw to allow you to basically attach the camera to whatever mount you want. So we have a curved mount as well, one that's just slightly longer, a little tripod mount frame. This one is detachable, so you can fit the camera into this here. There's a camera. You have a nice little silicone lens cap that comes with it, help you to keep your lens from getting scratched easily. So the camera just basically fits in here nice and snug, and you can mount this onto your tripod. There's a bicycle mount as well too for your bicycle bar, and an extra screw on mount. So the case slightly different. You have to actually turn, squeeze and turn to open the case. Then we put the camera inside. Take out the lens cap. Camera fits in there, and that's it. The front button is power. Press and hold. 3 beeps is power on, and the screen comes on. It's a small, probably 2-inch screen. I'll have to check the specs if it's 2-inch. And the button on the side here, when you press it, you get into the options into which mode you're in. So right now I'm in video mode. So as you can see, the video frame rate is 1080p 60 frames per second, and then you can cycle through this. This camera focusing on this. Let me take it out of the case. Press and hold the button. 5 beeps to turn it off. So let's look at the camera itself here now. So the front button here is your power button. You press and hold this to turn it on. On the side there's a button, there's a settings button. You can press and hold it to enter the settings and the options for whichever mode you're in. So if you're in video mode, you get to set video settings. If you're in picture mode, you'll get to set settings for your pictures. And then if you just keep pressing it and go through, you'll just get to the normal settings. The shutter button on the top here as well too. So that is basically 3 buttons. As you slide this out here, there's a little battery here with a little tab to help you take it out. Right, so it's a 3.7 volts 950 milliampere Li-ion battery. Alright, so let's slide the battery back in. Everything fits in nice. It's a very small, very small. It's like about just under 6 centimeters long. Four centimeters in height and 2 centimeters in width. Alright, so let's power it on. And so you hold the power button in the front for 3 seconds, and when it comes on you get 3 beeps. And so right here now you're seeing on the display I'm in video mode, and the video setting is 1080p 60 frames per second. W is for wide. Okay, there's a timer on the top. At the bottom is a date stamp. That's the time as well there. That hand with the little waves at the side of it there, that shows that I have the gyro stabilization on, because this camera has gyro stabilization. And then we have the battery bar. So while I'm in video mode, if I press the setting button on the side, I get to adjust the settings for video. So I can change the frame rate by pressing the shutter button. So I go to 1080 30 frames per second, 1080p 4:3, 720p 120 frames per second, 720p 60 frames per second, 720 30 frames per second, WVGA 2K 24 frames per second, 1440p at 30 frames per second, 1440p 4:3, and then back to 1080p 60 frames per second. The next option, by pressing the power button once, you scroll through the different options here, the different menus. So loop recording allows you to set how long you want your video to record for, so you can have like 2-minute recording files, or you can change it by pressing the shutter button here to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, loop recording off, and then back to 2. Then we have the record audio level, which is set to low. Pressing the shutter button could go to medium, high, mute, and back to low. Then we have the date stamp on. You can turn that on and off if you want to have the date stamp for your date and time. Time lapse for time lapse recording. Video snapshot timer. So while you're recording video, you can take a snapshot, you can take a photo. So you can set it for, like, if you want to take a photo every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, every minute, or off. White balance, exposure lock, the exposure value, shutter speed, ISO, color, the gyro stabilization, which I mentioned before, wide dynamic ratio, slow motion, sharpness, metering, field of view. Right now it's on wide angle, you can change it to wide or narrow angle, bitrate, motion detection, and the G sensor, which is used for, like, if you're using this as a dash cam, right? So you can set it to, like, if you want it to be low sensitivity, middle sensitivity, high sensitivity. So it comes on basically like if you drive in and you get into an accident. If it's on high sensitivity, you'll have to have a hard lash for it to come on. If it's on low sensitivity, then sometimes you might go into a pothole and then it might come on, right? So when I want to come out of the these options for the video, I press the setting buttons on the side and I'm back to the video for recording. Okay, press the power button once and I go to the picture mode, which is at 16 megapixels 4:3. 2894 is how many shots I have remaining, the date and time as well. And pressing the same setting button on the side allows you to go through the settings, so you can change how many megapixels from 16 to 12 and change the ratio to 16:9 or 4:3. I have it at 16 megapixel 4:3. Everything else are basically the same: shutter speed, date stamp, time lapse, self timer mode for you can set it the time when you wanted to take a snapshot. EV setting, exposure value, ISO, color, white balance, capture mode single, so if you want to take like a few shots at once, sharpness, metering, and raw. It also has raw mode for your photos as well. Okay, press the setting button to come out of it, and if you press the setting button one more time, no, not the setting button, if you press the power button to go from photo to video, you get to see the playback for all the files that you have previously recorded. You just basically press the setting button and then you can press play current file. You can delete it from there. Alright, and if you press the power button once more, you will get into the system settings. Okay, press the shutter button to go into the system settings, and you can set whether you want the beep on screen display info, car mode, custom text, so you can actually upload a text file. So you can have, just like you have the date time stamp, you can have your own custom stamp on each video or photo that you take. LED status, setting the screen auto sleep, the auto power on or off, date and time setting, the language from English, you can set the frequency from 60 Hz, TV mode, PAL, you have NTSC and PAL. RC pairing, there's a watch that you can buy for this separately that allows you to pair it. So you use RC pairing to pair it to a watch that you can use like a remote control to control the camera. Okay, you have USB mode prompt, and you have the option to format your SD card, return to default settings, and the version to see the firmware update. Right, version 1.4 is the latest firmware for this as far as I know. Right, so I'll press the settings button to come out of this. Alright, now you can also attach this to camera using Wi-Fi. Your phone, this camera, you can attach it to your phone using Wi-Fi. The password is 1234567 I use the Final Cam app. I wanted to show you all how to do that, but unfortunately I'm using the phone to record this little demonstration of the camera itself. So maybe in the next upload I'll probably be able to demonstrate that, or if I happen to get a next camera which I ordered, then I'll be able to demonstrate those features. So that is basically it for the camera. I've used this on my quad so far because of the gyro stabilization on this thing works really well. It takes really good videos from a quadcopter. The gyro stabilization helps to reduce any type of jello or shaking that you get from a quad while it's flying in heavy wind and thing, and the videos turn out really well. And my quad actually has a 2-axis gimbal, which means that the quality of the gimbal itself and the ability of it to reduce any sort of shaking and jello effect and thing is very, very limited, and this camera helps to compensate for that. So some people think that it's a 3-axis gimbal I use because of how good this camera anti-shake, the gyro stabilization is in this. It's really, really good. I highly recommend this camera. Oh, I forgot to show you the there's a micro USB and an HDMI port here on the side, and holes for your microphone. You can even plug in an external USB mic onto this and use this as well. Alright, the SD card slot as well. Let me power this off so I can show you all the SD card. So there's a little slot here for your SD card. You just basically put it in and take it out. They recommend a class 10 SD card. I have a 16 gig class 10. Alright, so that is basically it for the camera. I bought this at Gearbest, where the price is the best. So I hope that you all like this review, and hopefully subscribe for more. Thanks. Take care, everybody.